Welcome to tonight's top news stories from around the world. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Let's get started with the headlines making waves right now. Trump imposed tariffs on Mexico, Canada and China. Trump claims military helicopter was flying too high in deadly Washington collision. Trump ordered more school choices for American families. Federal judge blocks Trump's order to transfer transgender inmate to men's facility. Illinois governor blocks January 6 rioters from state jobs after Trump pardons. Trump administration asks senior FBI officials to resign or retire. District attorneys back Governor Hochul's plan to fix discovery laws, enhance justice. Canada plans forceful but reasonable retaliation against Trump's tariffs. Trump envoy visits Venezuela for talks with Nicolas Maduro. Three endangered tiger cubs spotted for the first time in Thai National Park. UFC President Dana White condemns Bryce Mitchell's anti-Semitic comments. And Al Nassr signs Colombian forward John Duran from Aston Villa for $77 million. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Donald Trump imposed new tariffs starting February 1, 2025. The U.S. enforced 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada and a 10% tariff on imports from China. White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt explained that these tariffs were in response to the illegal fentanyl trade, which had caused tens of millions of deaths in the U.S. She stated that the tariffs aimed to stop the flow of illicit drugs and undocumented immigrants from these countries. The U.S. government moved forward with the decision affecting companies like Walmart and Target, who paid the duties and likely passed the cost on to American consumers. In the following months, President Trump continued pushing for these tariffs to reduce the trade deficit with Canada and Mexico. The trade deficit with Canada had increased from $31 billion in 2019 to $72 billion in 2023, while the gap with Mexico grew from $106 billion to $161 billion during the same period. President Trump recently stated that a military Black Hawk helicopter involved in a fatal collision with an American Airlines jet in Washington, D.C. was flying too high during the incident. On Wednesday night, both aircraft collided near Reagan National Airport, killing 67 people. Trump alleged that the helicopter was flying at 400 feet, well above the required 200 feet. This claim came amid an investigation into the cause of the disaster. The Federal Aviation Administration restricted helicopter flights near the airport and is analyzing the black box data from the passenger plane. Investigators are also examining air traffic control staffing levels and the potential impact on the crash. Trump also suggested that diversity and inclusion programs in aviation may have contributed to the incident, a claim that was criticized by the National Air Traffic Controllers Association. The investigation is still ongoing and authorities have not yet concluded whether staffing or other factors caused the crash. Meanwhile, local leaders, including Maryland Governor Wes Moore, criticized Trump's remarks, calling them divisive and inappropriate during a time of mourning. The full investigation into the crash's cause is expected to continue. President Donald Trump signed an executive order to expand school choice and give parents more control over their children's education. The order directed the Department of Education to help states use federal funds for K-12 scholarships and prioritize school choice in grant programs. It also required the Department of Health and Human Services to guide states on using block grants for private and faith-based schooling. The Department of Defense and the Department of the Interior were also tasked with creating plans to allow military and Native American families to use federal funds for school choice. As of today, federal agencies are implementing the order, ensuring families have more options for their children's education. Support for school choice is strong, with surveys showing high approval across different communities. In the coming months, the administration will continue working on expanding school choice programs. Trump has promised to give every family the opportunity to choose the best education for their children. His administration is focused on making school choice a nationwide reality. A U.S. judge recently blocked the transfer of a transgender woman from a women's prison to a men's facility following an executive order by President Trump. The order, issued on January 20th, targeted gender-affirming care for inmates and mandated the housing of transgender women in men's prisons. The judge's temporary restraining order, given on January 28th, halted the transfer and required that the inmate, known as Maria Mo, remain in the women's facility and continue receiving medical care. Mo's legal team, including lawyers from GLAAD, argued that the transfer would expose her to serious risks such as harassment and violence. Her lawyers also claimed that the order violated her constitutional rights, including the Fifth and Eighth Amendments. The case is still ongoing, may result in a longer-lasting injunction. The order has become a significant point of legal contention, with 3 other transgender women filing a similar lawsuit in Washington, D.C. The judge's decision has provided temporary relief, and further hearings are expected to determine the long-term outcome for Mo's case. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker recently blocked individuals involved in the January 6, 2021 Capitol attack from working in state jobs. This move came after President Trump issued pardons and commutations for rioters, offering them a second chance. Pritzker directed the state's Department of Central Management Services to restrict hiring those linked to the attack. citing their infamous and disgraceful conduct that goes against the values of Illinois. Pritzker stated that the rioters disrupted the peaceful transfer of power, attacked law enforcement, and undermined democracy. He emphasized that Illinois' workforce must reflect honesty, integrity, and loyalty to the state's mission. His directive directly opposed Trump's pardon actions, which included individuals associated with groups like the Proud Boys and Oath Keepers convicted of seditious conspiracy. This decision is expected to face legal challenges, but Pritzker's team believes that it's legally sound based on the state's personal code. With about 50 Illinois residents involved in the Capitol riot, the impact on future state employment could be significant. Pritzker has also opposed other Trump policies like the freeze on federal aid, which a judge temporarily blocked. The Trump administration recently requested senior FBI officials, including those with executive assistant director status, to either resign, retire, or face termination. These officials were in charge of key areas such as national security, criminal and cyber issues. This move is part of ongoing scrutiny of FBI leadership. At the same time, Trump's nominee for FBI Director Kash Patel testified before the Senate Intelligence Committee for his confirmation hearing. Patel reassured senators that if confirmed, he would ensure the FBI's independence and not allow political influence in investigations. He emphasized that any law enforcement action would be based on solid legal grounds and promised there would be no misuse of power at the FBI. This shakeup comes after similar actions were taken against officials in the Justice Department's National Security and Criminal Divisions. The FBI has not commented on the personnel changes. Governor Kathy Hochul's proposal to reform New York's discovery laws received strong support from the District Attorneys Association of the State of New York. At their winter conference, DASNY voted to endorse the plan, aiming to end procedural delays, prevent case dismissals, and ensure fair trials for victims and defendants. The plan seeks to fix issues caused by the 2020 reforms, which inadvertently led to dismissed cases on technicalities. Hochul's changes will focus on eliminating delays, ensuring timely discovery compliance, and addressing errors proportionally. The reforms will streamline the discovery process, reduce pre-trial incarcerations, and improve case processing times. They will also expand automatic redactions and shorten the notice period for presenting defendant statements to grand juries. These changes are set to enhance fairness and hold offenders accountable while protecting public safety and justice for victims. Now it's time for global updates. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau vowed to retaliate if the US followed through with President Donald Trump's threat to impose a 25% tariff on goods from Canada and Mexico. Trudeau warned that while Canada could face economic challenges, the federal government would stand firm in defending the country's interests. He emphasized that Canada would implement retaliatory tariffs, initially targeting $37 billion worth of US exports, but could escalate the response to $110 billion if necessary. Experts expressed concern over the economic impact, with Canada's currency falling and fears of a recession. Both Canada and Mexico have prepared plans to counter these tariffs, signaling the potential for a damaging trade conflict. Negotiations remain tense, and the long-standing relationship between the US and its neighbor is under significant strain. We'll be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your fist. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Richard Grenell, a special envoy from President Donald Trump, flew to Venezuela to meet with its leader, Nicolas Maduro. The trip raised speculations about a potential deal between the two governments. Grenell, a former U.S. ambassador to Germany, was set to meet Maduro in Caracas. Trump's special envoy for Latin America, Mauricio Claver Caron, confirmed that Grenell's purpose was not to negotiate but to deliver two main messages. Venezuela must accept U.S. deportation flights carrying Venezuelan criminals, and Maduro should release North American citizens held in Venezuelan prisons. Claver Caron stressed that there were no talks about Venezuela's oil reserves, despite previous tensions between the U.S. and Venezuela, including Trump's maximum pressure campaign. Maduro hinted at being open to dialogue after Trump's re-election. Some worry that a potential deal could involve deporting Venezuelan migrants and allowing U.S. access to Venezuela's vast oil resources. This potential agreement would be controversial, particularly among Florida's Republican leaders. For the first time, 3 Bengal tiger cubs were captured on camera in King Krachan National Park, Thailand. Rangers had earlier spotted one cub with its mother, but further footage retrieved this week after rain damage confirmed the trio. The footage shows the cubs playing in the forest while their mother patrols the area. Park officials estimate the cubs are about 6 months old. The park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is home to 6 adult Bengal tigers. The discovery of the 3 cubs is a significant conservation milestone for the endangered species, as Bengal tigers are rare and their numbers continue to dwindle due to poaching and trafficking. In celebration, the park has launched a contest to name the cubs. This discovery comes after a rare Bengal tiger sighting in Kuiburi National Park earlier this year, highlighting the importance of wildlife monitoring. Conservation efforts are crucial, with only around 4,500 Bengal tigers remaining in the wild today. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. UFC President Dana White condemned fighter Bryce Mitchell for praising Adolf Hitler and making anti-Semitic comments on his podcast. Mitchell, a featherweight fighter, described Hitler as a good guy and denied the Holocaust. He also made offensive remarks about Jews and the LGBTQ+ community. In a statement, White called Mitchell's comments the worst he had heard, but stressed that the UFC would not take disciplinary action, citing freedom of speech. White said Hitler was responsible for the death of 6 million Jews. Anyone who defends him is a moron. Despite his criticism, White defended Mitchell's right to express his views, emphasizing the importance of free speech. Mitchell made the controversial statements on his Insanity podcast, where he also shared his controversial beliefs about history and LGBTQ+ issues. White concluded by saying viewers could still see Mitchell fight and hopefully get his ass whooped in the future. Saudi Arabian club Al Nassr signed 21-year-old Colombian forward John Duran from Aston Villa for an undisclosed fee. The transfer, reportedly worth around 77 million plus add-ons, marks the second highest fee ever received by Villa. Duran joined Villa from Chicago Fire FC second in 2023 and scored 20 goals in 78 appearances. The Colombian international, capped 15 times by his country, will now play alongside stars like Cristiano Ronaldo and Sadio Mane at Al Nassr, currently third in the Saudi Pro League. Duran's move was anticipated to West Ham United in July, but it fell through before he scored 4 league goals early in the season for Villa, including match winners against West Ham, Leicester and Everton. With 12 goals in all competitions, Duran was also a runner-up at the 2024 Copa America. Villa, sitting 8th in the Premier League, will now look to fill the gap left by his departure. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 20,166.22. The NYSE Composite is increased by 238.75 points or 1.20%. Tokyo stock close price is 39,572.49. The Nikkei 225 index is increased by 58.52 points or 0.15%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,250.60. The Shanghai index is decreased by 2.03 points or 0.06%. Hong Kong stock close price is 20,225.11. The Hang Seng index is increased by 27.34 points or 0.14%. Bombay stock close price is 77,500.57. The Sensex index is increased by 740.76 points or 0.97%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Trump imposed tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China. Trump claims military helicopter was flying too high in deadly Washington collision. Trump ordered more school choices for American families. Federal judge blocks Trump's order to transfer transgender inmate to men's facility. Illinois governor blocks January 6 rioters from state jobs after Trump pardons. Trump administration asks senior FBI officials to resign or retire. District attorneys back Governor Hochul's plan to fix discovery laws, enhance justice. Canada plans forceful but reasonable retaliation against Trump's tariffs. Trump envoy visits Venezuela for talks with Nicolas Maduro. Three endangered tiger cubs spotted for the first time in Thai National Park. UFC President Dana White condemns Bryce Mitchell's anti-Semitic comments. And Al Nassr signs Colombian forward John Duran from Aston Villa for $77 million. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel, and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with the Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.